I'm going to be showing you guys how you can put a chat box like what you see right here in your YouTube live stream. Ask right here as hit the little three dots in the upper right hand corner of the chat box there. Click that and then go to where you see pop out chat. Now once you do that, you're going to see the chat box pop out like you can see right here, out chat. In corner of the chat box there, click that and then go to where you see pop.
उसका कंटेंट और हम लोग क्या करते हैं, हम लोगों को जिगल करना पड़ता है, बार बार चेकआउट करिए, या भाई लोग ओबीएस की स्क्रीन पे जाने से पहले हम लोग चलेंगे यूट्यूब चैनल पे, जहाँ से साइड में ये चैट है उसको पे आपकी वाला लिंक करेंगे, यहाँ से न्यूज़ पे सामने करते हैं अपनी जो नीड है उसके अकॉर्डिंग। तो यहाँ पे आप देखिए कि इसी स्टार्ट करते हैं हमारे आपसे।
In this OBS Studio tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make your live streams look awesome, and we're starting right now. To another video. If this is your first time here and you want to learn how to grow your channel, make videos, and all types of other YouTube related stuff, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. You're going to love this. I'm not going to waste any time. Let's go to the computer. Okay, so now that we're at the computer, I'm going to show you how to take a boring looking scene like this and make it into something like this where you can have chat on it, to where you can do like video transitions and things like that. You can also do it to where you add tickers, to where you have like a little sidebar to where you're doing like a split screen, and you can transfer everything back and forth. Super easy, and it can be cool with the transitions as well. Of course, you wouldn't want to use transitions as heavy as I just did, but I'm just showing you the example of what it is that I'm going to be showing you. So the first thing that we need to do in order to get all of this stuff rolling is we need to go up to the scene selection or scene collection and select new, and that's going to blank everything out. As soon as I do this, it's going to remove my webcam, so I'm going to add that in as well and show you how to do that also. So for this, I'm just going to call this TB demo, and as you can see, it took away my webcam, so I'm going to go ahead and add that by adding, if you send down here to custom and then you change it to the actual frame size that you're going to be going out at. In my case, it's 1920 by 1080, and then I hit OK, and then as you can see, it brings everything, you know, to the normal ratio. So once I have that in place, this is going to be my blank starting point. So once I have that in place, I'm going to go down to my scenes down here in the bottom left-hand side of the screen, and I'm going to choose rename. And then for this one, I'm just going to change this to main plane, and then that tells me anytime I click on this, anytime I transition to this, no matter what, it's just going to be a plain thing that's happening, just me right here on the screen. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to build onto this. So I'm going to duplicate it here. I'm going to right click on main plane and I'm going to hit duplicate. And then I'm going to do main with a ticker. And then what that gives me the ability to do is add additional sources over here. So I have one scene here that nothing else is going to be on. And then this one here is going to be all of the ticker graphics to make the actual ticker that goes along the bottom of the screen. So here I'm going to click plus. I'm going to go to image. I'm going to do ticker BG for ticker background. And when I do that, it's going to ask me where the file is. So here I'm going to click on ticker BG, hit OK. And then there you can see this graphic that is now showing up at the bottom of my screen. Now, how this is going to work is it's going to be this graphic, and then I'm going to have a layer of text. And then after that layer of text, then I'm going to have a covering graphic as well. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to hit plus, and then I'm going to add that covering graphic right now. So I'm going to do ticker top. and I'm going to grab this. Now, as you can see right here, when I pull this in, if you look at this little area right here, you can see it's transparent. Okay, so basically what's happening here is this is going to allow the text to show up, to appear behind this and then disappear into this side as well while keeping the TubeBuddy logo in there. So I'm going to hit OK. Now with this, just so you know what's going on, is all of this stuff that I'm showing you right now, I actually built this for TubeBuddy for the stream that I do there. So if you want to learn even more YouTube stuff, I'm going to put a link to the TubeBuddy channel so you can definitely head over to them, because me and other YouTube experts are over there. I'm going to actually click on the little lock icon for all three of these. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to have to move the text around once I get it in here. So if I have these locked, then I can click anywhere on the screen, move anything that I want, and nothing is going to be selected or moved. So it's just kind of like a fail-safe. Click on plus, and then I'm going to go to text. And then here, I'm just going to make sure that says text. And then here, I'm going to put in just anything for the sake of the demo. And then once I have what it is that I'm going to be saying in the text, you can see it right up here at the top. You can see it's kind of small, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into select font, and in this case, I'm actually going to find the font that I was using. This is a really cool thing about OBS, is it lets you select different fonts, so you can make sure that, you know, things are matching up with your branding and all of that. So I'm going to select a different font, I'm going to hit OK, and then I'm going to click OK on this as well. Once I have that in place, then I can grab the text and I can bring it down. Now, as you can see, it's really small right now. So on a mobile device, this would be pretty much impossible to read. So I'm going to grab one of these corners and I'm just going to start moving it. And as you can see, that's going to scale that text up and make it a little bit bigger and a little bit easier to read. From there, I'm going to just bring it down the screen. And then because I have this selected, I can just tap on the arrow buttons to kind of fine tune it as far as getting it into the right place that I want it to be. And then as you can see over here in the sources section, this is at the very top and it's covering up the TubeBuddy logo and it's just not very flattering right now. So in order to fix that, what I have to do is I have to take the text and I have to bump it down a notch. And then now I've got that nice looking fade going in and out. So my text comes in, fades back out, the logo's still there and everything still looks nice, neat, and clean. So what I'm going to do now is I need to make that text move. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to filters. Here, I'm going to click on the plus sign, and then I'm going to click on scroll. And then here, I want to show you this real quick. Let me move this over to here. So when I move this horizontal speed, you can see the text is going to start to move. Now, I can make it really fast to where, you know, people are reading it really fast and all that, or I can slow it down, make it something a little bit more reasonable. In this case, I'm going to go with like a 31. That's fine. So it's still coming along. It's still moving along, but it's not so much that it's ridiculously distracting. So once I have that speed, I'm going to hit close. And then as you can see, the ticker is going to be flowing along there nicely during any time that I want that to show. So now we have two scenes. We have the main plane and then we have the main ticker, okay? So the next thing that we want to do is we're going to duplicate that main plane again, and I'm going to call this one cam with chat, okay? Now with this one, we're going to do that same exact thing where I'm going to go to the plus, and I'm going to add an image here, and this is going to be, I'm just going to call this one background because there's not a lot that's going to be happening in this scene. So I'm going to find that, and then I'm going to bring it in. Now, as you can see right here, the area that I have right here, it's already taken away. So I saved this image here out of Photoshop as a transparent PNG. Okay, so basically I removed the background layer so that I could save it so I'd be able to see through this. Now, another option that I would have had was to make the same graphic, but actually put a square on the screen in this area and then grab my picture or my video image there and scale it down and try to fine tune it to make sure that everything is in the right place and the right size. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to lock this background so I'm not clicking on it. I'm going to click on the webcam, and then now you can see when I move this, because I have that area transparent, it doesn't have to be perfect. I can just move it in, kind of scoot it into place, and then fine tune it a little bit with my arrow keys, and then there we go. I don't have to spend a ton of time sitting there trying to make everything match up. And in addition to that, I also get a little bit of a drop shadow over here to kind of give it a little bit of an additional look, so to speak. Now, the next thing that we want to do is something that I get asked about a ton, and that is showing the chat on the screen, because we have to put it in this little area over here so that viewers can see the live chat for this particular scene when we show this. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring my live streaming page over, and I'm going to show you how to do this. When you go to your live streaming page on YouTube, you click here, and then you click on Pop Out Chat. When you do that, they're going to give you a URL up here at the top. You want to copy that, and then you can close it. And then after you close that, you can actually just move that right out of the way or close the window or whatever, and it's okay because you have that URL. That's all that you need. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go down to plus, in my scenes, or in my sources, actually, I'm going to go down to plus. I'm going to choose browser source. Here, I'm going to make this chat as the identifier. And then you can see here, there's already a URL here going to OBS project, but I'm going to override that with my YouTube chat, okay? That URL that I just got. Now, because I've already built this for, the thing that I'm doing with TubeBuddy, so I've already built this, I already know that the width of this is going to be way too big. So I'm going to take the width of this down to 520, and I'm going to take the height to, let's say, let's do 890, okay? From there, I'm going to hit OK, and then you'll see the chat is now popping up on the screen. I just grab that, and I bring it over here and get it into place, okay? I could leave it like this, and it would be perfectly okay. I mean, if it just looks like this and you have the white on there, it's fine. But if you look at this from a design standpoint, I have all of these dark elements. I'm wanting people to focus on the TubeBuddy logo down there, which, by the way, if you don't have TubeBuddy installed yet, I've got a link to that in the description. But I want to draw people's attention to the TubeBuddy logo, and I want them looking at my screen. I want them looking at the chat as well, but I don't want them to be overwhelmed and distracted by what's going on in the chat. So what I have to do for that is I have to put in a CSS code, which I have in a notepad here, and I'll actually put this as a resource link down in the description below. But I have a some CSS code that I'm going to drop into this chat option right here. So I'm going to right-click on chat, I'm going to hit properties, and I'm going to delete this in the CSS area right here, and then I'm going to paste in all of this code right here. And again, I'm going to have a resource link to this down in the description, so you'll be able to get this same exact code down in that description if you want this. And then I'm going to hit OK, and then you'll see that it made my text bigger, and it also took away that background, so now it's not as distracting. It's still distracting, especially when it's all moving around, but it's not as distracting. So what we've done there is now we have this but I have this chat option right here. So I'm going to click CSS area right here, and then I'm going to paste in all of this code right here. And again, I'm going to have a resource link to this down in the description, so you'll be able to get this same exact code down in that description if you want this. And then I'm going to hit OK, and then you'll see that it made my text bigger, and I'm going to hit the chat code right here. And again, I'm going to have a resource link to this down in the description, so you'll be able to get this same exact code wanting people to focus on the TubeBuddy logo. Go to your here out of Photoshop. So what I'm going to do now, this is at the very top, and it's covering up. You can see that's okay, and then I'm going to click OK.